Give a fish, teach to fish, delivering hope. A Paying It Forward, self-improvement and personal development charitable community outreach initiative. Founded, supported, and funded by Denuzo Private Wealth, Inc. Thank you for joining us today. I know we hear those words delivering hope at the beginning of each of our webinars, but it's been a minute since we were reminded that hope is universal and it gives us all faith and motivation that positive change can and will happen. No matter where you are in the world, Papi wants to bring his message to as many of his brothers and sisters as possible. He's spoken across, several continents as well as right here in his own community. So if you're looking for an inspirational speaker, please book Papi to speak to your organization or have him speak to your nonprofit group for free. For anyone that would love to hear his message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind. So let's go to Papi this morning to set the table for us. Good morning, Papi. How are you today?
Hey, Mikey, good morning. And thank you to you and Suzanne for doing such a great job for getting everything set up for a wonderful show. Yeah, I want to say namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you to all of our fellow brothers and sisters. And I thank you so much for listening in today. And again, my goal is for number one is to help you always, to help any one of my fellow brothers and sisters with whom I'm interacting with, to teach you about the creative power that you have inside of the greatest asset, the greatest gift in the entire universe resides inside of you. You have perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, and a perfect spiritual spark inside of you. And it's called creative power. And you'll hear me say, never give up your power. Never give up your power. So I am here to teach you and to coach you up. And first of all, to break the ice with you, to let you know you do have creative power within you to manifest anything you can imagine. And again, just to go back and break down, manifest anything you can imagine. Manifest the health, wealth, and happiness through the law of attraction. So manifest again, to manifest, when you think about this, the key here is that you, the fellow brothers and sisters listening today, you create your reality. You create your reality, no one else. You create your reality. So that's how I define manifest, and how I define law of attraction is like attracts like. Like attracts like. You want more good in your life, the more good you send out, the more good's going to come back to you. I don't think you want bad in your life, but if you want more bad in your life, send out bad, you're going to attract more bad back into you. So you will become what you think, you will attract what you feel, and you will create what you imagine. Guaranteed. Absolutely, laws of the universe, absolutely guaranteed. So I want to thank you for being here today. Again, we wake up in the morning. I'm so happy and grateful now. Today is a magnificent day. I am so happy and grateful now. I've been given the gift of heaven on earth that I can manifest and co-create with universal intelligence, to co-create with universal intelligence, to manifest anything I can imagine. I am so happy and grateful now that I have created my masterpiece today. When you wake up, before you even get out of bed in the morning, you're saying these affirmations to yourself. You've created your masterpiece today. You know you have 3 most important tasks, 4 most important tasks, whatever they are for the day, and you've already got an A+. You've aced it across the board, and all of your most important tasks, you're feeling your way into your day for success. You live in a thought world within a perfect and infinite thought universe. I say this over and over because you've been told 365 days a year for however long you've been on earth that you're just wearing a meat suit and it's a 3D world and that's all it is. And if you don't have something that you want, that's because somebody else has it and you got to go grab it off of them. That's a competitive environment. We live in a creative universe. A creative universe. We live in a universe of abundance, not scarcity. Live in a universe of faith, not fear. Live in a universe of positive attitude, not negative attitude. Again, with my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, I suggest read at least 1 page every day. I have a lot of our fellow brothers and sisters who like the book on Audible, the audio version. Again, this is the book. I'm reading the book in my voice, and I get a lot of people that absolutely love it. I have one gentleman, I got a text message last night, Mikey, from a gentleman in New Jersey who I've been teaching, never met him face to face. I've been teaching and working with him, and he just thanked me for all the power and energy that he's received through reading my book. I have another gentleman who thanked me about a week ago and was commenting for the energy that he receives from the audiobook, that he likes to read and listen to the audiobook. He'll listen to it in the background while he's at his desk. And he said that he feels like there's so much energy. He said that his phone started playing my audiobook 2 times over the course of a couple of days, just out of the clear blue sky. Just started playing. And there's a lot of things going on in which we won't go into right now, but the energy that's coming through, and that's the purpose here, is I'm here to deliver a message. It's the largest message and the greatest message you could ever imagine. I'm merely the messenger. So I say, read at least a page of my book, focus on a concept or topic every day, stay in a high vibration, live in that vibration, and or listen to it. Some of our fellow brothers get more power out of listening to something, Mikey, than they do from reading. Just a couple of updates. Working on something. It may or may not come to fruition. I have it in my affirmations, but I had an initial really good interaction with the gentleman by the name of Billy Carson. Billy is really good at what he does. He's an expert on ancient history. He's on the Discovery Channel, the History Channel, the Science Channel, the Gaia Channel, you name it. He's got his own streaming TV network, Forbidden Knowledge. But I had a real good initial meet and greet with him. And where Billy and I come from is I'm coming from a spirituality aspect, and Billy is a science expert extraordinaire. He's a genius when it comes to science and ancient history and how that all ties together. So working with him potentially where spirituality meets science. So stay tuned for that. And the last one, Mikey, that you mentioned is the outreach. And again, I put this vibration, I put the frequency out, and we see what's attracted back in. And again, at the epicenter is our fellow brothers and sisters in need. And as we go down deeper into that, to the pure epicenter, we see women and children in need. And a lot of times we're seeing women, children of color who are in need. So just by the sheer demographics, Mikey, a lot of folks who are fellow brothers and sisters who may be listening, you may be in the United States, you live in a cul-de-sac, wherever you live, God bless. But if you take a look at the planet Earth, we're casting a wide net to over 8 billion of our fellow brothers and sisters, and we see who comes back to us. I taught another class last week from the Nakuru, Kenya. There was another 60 some students and teachers in the class in the heart of Kenya. One individual was talking about a member of their family or something we were sort of talking about, and it was that manifesting 10x is what I talk about. So the universe told me I was working with a group from the Philippines, and they said, Papi, you have to understand that there's 15 people living in a tent. It's basically like a shack. It's not even sort of a shack what they're living in, but call it a tent, a shack, a shanty, whatever you want to refer to it. 15 people living in one room. Talk about no privacy. 15 people in one room. And the universe said, Papi, if you can get this family of 5 to have their own tent in their own shack or shanty, and they have a little garden outside, they have a little garden somewhere, that will be prosperity to them. So we 10x our lives one step at a time. I teach if you want to get to $1 billion, because money is a little bit easier to understand. If you have 0, let's get from 0 to $1,000. Then go from 1,000 to 10,000, then 10,000 to 100,000, et cetera, in steps, 10xing each step to get there. So, Mikey, I put the message out, and I'm just thinking about what do I have tomorrow? You get introduced to someone who introduces you to someone else. And again, when we run into our fellow brothers and sisters who are on our call today, who are listening to the show, to the webinar workshop, there are no coincidences. If you run into something that you say, oh, that's a coincidence, that's some type of synchronicity, follow that back upstream. There's a message being sent to you. This is divine orchestration that's going on. You're being sent a message. Pay attention to it. So I send out the vibrations. I send out the frequencies. And it's like I said, it's like just like making a phone call. You send it out as high as possible, and you see you answer. So tomorrow, Mikey, I've got, and I am very grateful for a woman who was born and raised, I believe, right outside of Darfur, Sudan, in Africa, and one of the worst places on earth regarding strife, violence, conflict, etc. Hawa is her name. She's a wonderful, wonderful sister of ours, and she is very excited about working with me. So we're already working in Kenya, and I'm working with her. Now, she was born and raised in Sudan. A lot of her family has gone to Uganda for safety. The Sudan is sort of getting bifurcated, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I think the southern part is a little safer than the other part. But one part is safer than the other. So she has some of her family members there. But she said, Papi, I'm really excited about this, about helping you get this message out. This is a message my fellow brothers and sisters need to hear from where I'm from in Africa. So I've got a Zoom set up for tomorrow, Mikey, and it's Hawa. And she says, Papi, I've got 5 people, and these are all women again. And these women are doing phenomenal work in helping our fellow brothers and sisters in need. And she says the same thing. Papi, it's mostly women and children. Of course, it's women and children of color who are in Africa. She says, I've got 5 women lined up to be on the call. a couple of them are from Uganda, a couple of them are from the Sudan, and one woman who's supposed to show up also, supposed to attend rather, is from Rwanda. And she's telling me these stories, Mikey, these individuals and what they're struggling with and who they're helping. One woman is actually in charge of and is running a refugee camp for 11,000 of our fellow brothers and sisters, if you can imagine. She's in charge of 11,000 of our fellow brothers and sisters. And how I was talking to her, and she's like, I think this would be wonderful. This is fantastic. Like, I'd love to get this message out to as many of our fellow brothers and sisters here as I can. So again, we just put out, the best message possible. It's a message of hope, inspiration, abundance, and peace of mind. And again, I'm here to help you, but please keep your antenna up and see, who do you know? Who can we collaborate here with you right down the street in the United States, Central America, South America, Africa, the Philippines, Europe, anywhere across the globe. With technology, we can communicate with anyone almost at any time across the globe. I'm having regular conversations. I didn't even know, Mikey, a couple of years ago, what WhatsApp was, the application WhatsApp. And now I'm regular having what I call, FaceTime conversation with people all across the globe, in teaching them and working on coaching them up as to the creative power that they have within them to be able to manifest anything they can imagine. So thank you so much.
Oh, that's so exciting. You always have some new and exciting news to share with us. That I can't believe she's in charge of 11,000 other people. I mean, that is phenomenal. And you took the words right out of my mouth too earlier when you said there are no coincidences. Like, there really are. There's a reason that gentleman's phone came on its own at that time. There must have been a reason that he wanted to, that message needed to come across to him. So I think that to me, I love that kind of stuff. Like, that to me is so interesting.
Mikey, since you said that, if I could just remind the audience real quick, because I didn't say it, thank you for reminding me. But when any of these coincidences happen, Mikey, we want to remind our fellow brothers and sisters, you want to lock everything down at that moment in time and say, where am I? What am I doing? What am I thinking? What are the emotions that I'm sending out? What is this message that's coming to me? What is this message? The universe does an awful lot also, Mikey, with technology. See what's coming up in front of you, the shorts that are popping up, or links to articles, or articles that pop up, etc. So pay very close attention to, so when I start talking on that audiobook and his phone is not within arm's reach of him, what was it? What chapter was on? What was I talking about? What was he thinking about whenever that happened? So that's great, Mikey. Thank you so much for reminding me, because we want to pay very close attention at that moment in time of that quote unquote, what we humans would define as a quote unquote coincidence, or quote unquote some type of synchronicity that's going on. There's a message that's coming through. Pay very, very close attention. Don't miss that learning opportunity.
Absolutely. People are always looking for answers. People are like, asking the universe questions. And it's not so much they're wondering, like, when is the universe going to answer me? The universe is answering you. You just have to be open to listening. The hardest part is not asking the question. The hardest part is listening to the answer that it's trying to give you. So always, like you said, keep your eyes and ears open and listen for that.
Be open. Be open and allow this in. And as you said, Mikey, we get so much. And the key phrase I've been using, I just repeat this all the time, Mikey, as much as I can. What I'm teaching, what I'm coaching is a manifesting lifestyle. It's a manifesting lifestyle. This is not a get rich quick. This is not like an add water. I get all kind of marketing people, Mikey, who talk to me, are like, Papi, and I'm working on some things, but it's not so much like, a jump start. Like, all these things that get traction, or like, people come out with like this one thing or something that gets traction. This isn't, even if it's in like a 21-day format or 28 days, I'm recommending to you to repeat that 21 days, repeat that 28 days. So this is a manifesting lifestyle. This is a lifestyle that, in order for you to be successful, it's about removing bad habits every day, incorporating good habits every day. And like anything else, once you get these good habits incorporated, it'll be automatic. But again, I just reiterate, this is a lifestyle that we're looking to live. And once you get on the right frequency of this lifestyle, it'll be the greatest thing. You'll thank yourself every single day when you are in control of your life, when you're taking in this pure spirit, power, and energy, and you're living inside out. You're not living outside in. You're not getting triggered by something that you heard in social media. You're not getting triggered by a family member. You're not getting triggered by something that you heard on TV. You're not getting triggered by something you heard on the radio. The last thing you want to do is get triggered by anything. That will be the pure definition of living outside in. You only hold one thought in your mind at a time, and only one person on earth controls that thought. That's you. That's you. That's the most powerful tool on earth is your mind and the thoughts that you generate. Don't let anyone take that over. Don't ever give that up for any reason. You be in control. And as you were saying, Mikey, open up and allow. So once we get these good habits and everything, what we want to do, Mikey, unfortunately, a lot of times as human beings is force it. We want to push it. Where is it at? I don't see it. I want instant gratification. No, you just open up and allow, just as Mikey was saying. You do your proper daily ritual, which will come to you more naturally every day and every week that you're working on it, and then just open up and allow all these wonders to flow into you. And the more you open up and allow, now you have to ask. That is the one aspect. You have to ask, but there's almost an unlimited amount of resources. You can't sort of over ask, Mikey. You can ask. There's so many resources available to us in the entire collective. There's so many resources and so many of our fellow brothers and sisters in the entire collective who are just dying to help us at one level, one way, shape, one form. So again, once you ask, sit back and just open up and allow and have the confidence it will be delivered to you at the best and most appropriate time.
Absolutely. The universe only wants to give us good things. We just have to be willing to wait for it, like with anything else, and it will come to us as long as we're open to it, like you said. And again, it takes, repetition every day to get into these good habits. It's not going to happen overnight. And, you always joke around that you repeat certain concepts over and over again. And you always say, well, it's not because I'm forgetful. Like, I have a great memory. It's just that those concepts are just so important that you have to, repeat them over and over. Repetition, as you say, is your key to manifesting. And that's why with so much negativity around some of us, Papi wants to provide us with these positive messages every week. And we're lucky enough, we get an weekly email with 2 concepts to live by to everyone on our mailing list. Papi, you want to share 2 concepts with us today?
Sure, Mikey. And I love the repetition again. You definitely have a PhD or expertise in like reminding me of these key concepts. So if I get to say that one first, Mikey, so think about why am I so focused and talking about repetition is because you've had tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of suggestions been offered to you that you haven't canceled or rejected every course of your life. And those are, I'm just phrasing very simply, these bad habits or negative habits or thoughts that are in your subconscious mind that we're looking to take out every day and put the new ones and the good ones in. Again, that first 7 years you on earth, I talk about draw that large circle around your head, put a horizontal line through, a C here for conscious, and that C in the bottom part that looks like a bowl for your subconscious. A little line connecting to the small circle down below, put a B there for your body, a line up on each side for your arms and your hands, a line down on each side for your arms and your legs. And this is your mind. Your mind is your conscious mind working in harmony with your subconscious mind, working in harmony with your body. Your body is an instrument of your mind. So the magic happens here, Mikey, in this bowl, the bottom half of that circle, in this bowl. This is where your subconscious mind, this is where your subconscious mind lives. And this is where 95% of what you accomplish on earth is generated from here in your subconscious mind. Now, your subconscious mind is your paradigm. And what does your paradigm operate off of, Mikey? This is your operating program. This is the software that runs you. And I'm here to tell everybody I'm an optimist and I'm an optimist. But the first 7 years you were on earth, thousands or tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of suggestions were offered in that you couldn't defend yourself. You couldn't cancel or reject them. I'm here to tell you that your operating program has a virus. It has a virus. And that's what I'm here for, is to extract this virus from your operating system, from your paradigm, from your belief system on how you're running your life. You got a lot of bad crap in there. You got a lot of bad information in there, and it's not your fault. You couldn't defend yourself. And even when you were 8 or 10. So I tell folks, Mike, let's understand the game of life. How long have you been at this for? If you've been at this for 20, 40, 60, 80 years or longer, and your grades on your report card that health, wealth, and happiness aren't where you want, I just make suggestions. I make a suggestion. Maybe the game of life is operated a little bit differently than how you've been approaching it. That you actually live in a thought world within a perfect and infinite thought universe. And it all flows into and through your subconscious mind, universal subconscious mind. This is where your magic lamp lives at in your subconscious mind that offers you unlimited wishes. Unlimited wishes. Forget about Aladdin. These are unlimited wishes, but B-U-T, but both good or bad, both good or bad. So I'm here, Mikey, to eradicate this virus that's in all of our fellow brothers and sisters' subconscious mind, that a lot of times they weren't even knowledgeable about it. They didn't do anything wrong. They just couldn't protect themselves. They didn't even know to protect themselves. And that's what we're here for. So the first one, Mikey, that we have, that we sent out the last few weeks for the concepts to live by is spirit. And I talk about spirit again. And to me, I don't know what it takes to get excited, but this gets me 100% excited. Mikey, all of our fellow brothers and sisters, me, you, Suzanne, all of our fellow brothers and sisters have a perfect spirit inside of them. We all have a perfect spiritual DNA inside of them. We all have perfect spiritual spark. And when I talk to any of our fellow brothers and sisters, Mike, and even this class from Kenya last week, when I was teaching these students and the teachers, when I'm looking them in the eye as well as I can virtually, and I'm looking them in the eye and tell them about the perfect spirit, the perfect spiritual DNA, the perfect spiritual spark inside of them, and I tell them that your and my perfect spiritual DNA is exactly the same. People's eyes light up every single time. Our spiritual DNA is perfect, and we all have exactly the same spiritual DNA, exactly the same. We all came from the same place. We all are literally fellow brothers and sisters, the exact same spiritual DNA. So this spirit that flows into and through us, so we have flowing down into and through us, spirit, power, and energy all day long. Now, what are we going to do with this? So we're going to live our life inside out. Am I going to control my thoughts with this perfect spirit that I have and it flows into and through me? Am I going to control this and live inside out and send out the vibrations that I want to? And oversimplify it, think about this, my fellow brothers and sisters. Think of just from your torso, from the top, from your neck area, the top of your torso to the bottom, to your lower abdomen. Just think of this is where your vibrations come out of, just so you can get a picture. If it comes out the top, the very top, and then goes upward, that is your best life, the highest vibration you can send out of you possible. If it comes out of your lower abdomen and goes down to the ground, let's say to the floor, that's a low vibration, low frequency that you're on track for your worst life possible. So you control this. You've got all the tools. You've been given all the gifts. You have creative power within you, and you have perfect spirit, perfect spiritual spark, perfect spiritual DNA. The other one we sent out, Mikey, that I get asked a lot about is, and I just have it in the concepts to live by, I just have one single word, Mikey, just starting. It's just one word, starting. And I get asked an awful lot, Papi, when should I start? And my answer is always right now. Start right now. And a lot of times, Mikey, our fellow brothers and sisters will say, Papi, you don't understand. I would say that if I work in a company that, pick a number, Mikey, has 1,000 team members, 1,000 employees. I'll say, Papi, I might be number 1,000 of the 1,000 employees at this company. I want to wait until I get my next job and get an improvement, and then I'll start then. That's not it. You always start from wherever you're at today. You don't wait. You don't need to wait. You have creative power within you. You've got perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, perfect spiritual spark. You have all knowledge and all power of all time that resides and lives within your subconscious mind. Get started today. There is no bad place to start from, Mike. It's not that I'm a janitor, and when I'm no longer a janitor, then I'll start. Start today. The best way to approach this, Mikey, is to start from where you're at right now, and let me work with you on 10xing that. Again, 10xing for our fellow brothers and sisters in the Philippines is from going from that 15 family members living in one hut or one tent or whatever it is, into 5 family members living in their own hut, their own tent. When I was talking to Kenya last week, talking to someone about, let's go from they're living, Mikey, they're sleeping, some of their family sleeping on cardboard outdoors. Okay, you want to have something to be grateful for? Think about where you're going to go to sleep at night. All of our fellow brothers and sisters on this call, think about where you're going to sleep at night, the roof over your head, the clothes on the back, the food on your table, and think where you're going to go to sleep. This individual sleeping on cardboard outside. And they believe we got to the point that if we can get you on a used mattress, they would be happy to have a used mattress, a 10-year-old mattress, however old, a used mattress somewhere where there's a roof over their head. Not even saying that you're even indoors, but just on a used mattress somewhere that there's a roof over your head. that would be 10xing your life. So again, how much do we have to be grateful for, Mikey? We look at our fellow brothers and sisters all across this planet Earth and what they're going through. And people hear me say over and over again, Mikey, regarding repetition, gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Gratitude places you on the highest vibration possible as immediately as possible. And just think about all these things that I'm talking about. I'm sure it's got to resonate with a lot of our audience today, to give gratitude, to think what you have and the gifts and blessings that you're enjoying on a daily basis. Just take a look at our other fellow brothers and sisters out there across this planet Earth. You think you're having a bad day. Really think about this. Think about the average fellow brothers and sisters of ours, over 8 billion of us on planet Earth. We all have so much to be grateful, Mikey. And again, getting back to starting, don't wait, don't hesitate. Start to manifest your best life. Start to manifest anything you can imagine. Start today.
Oh, that's awesome. That's like a great pep talk, actually. That's like, start today. Why wait? And I think so many of us suffer from like not enoughness, like they're not pretty enough, they're not smart enough. And you're telling me now that the universe already thinks we are perfect. Like we already have perfect DNA, perfect spiritual spark. And if you suffer from not enoughness, that's your mindset. That's your thoughts, like you said, that started when you were young coming into your head. Like we have to eradicate that and start thinking in a more positive way, and don't wait. Like start today.
Yes.
Start with your daily affirmations, start with your positive self-talk. And of course that takes practice. Like you said, for the first couple years of our life, we've heard nothing but negativity. And that's why we have you to coach us. So with the law of attraction. And what are your coaching tips for us today?
Yeah, the coaching tip we're focused on today, Mikey, is our daily affirmation ritual. And at the core, we can do a lot of daily affirmations. And even whenever we're thinking about gratitude, we can say affirmations related to gratitude as well. But on the daily affirmations, what I coach is the 333 daily affirmation ritual. So I like you to have your ritual before you even get out of bed in the morning. And even right after that, I'm not going to get into that ritual right now, gratitude and everything else. But in the morning, as soon as you can, before there's any interaction with technology at all. I mean, let's stay away from technology as long as possible, okay? So wake up, let's stay in harmony with the universe. Let's stay as close as we can with source energy. And we want to write out our first 3 affirmations. I am so happy and grateful now that we want to write that affirmation down. This is where we focus, Mikey, on what our want is and what our strongest one is, our desire. That's our goal. So we're focusing on this. This is what I would call, Mikey, our 10x goal. I am so happy and grateful now that. Then we write out our goal. It's typically 10, 15 words. It's just sort of like a sentence what our goal is. And then we always want to put at the end, by or before. And what I teach is we go on a 3-month program. So every 3 months, if you're writing this out, by or before September 30th, whatever year it is, you wake up October the 1st. If you've not manifested and achieved your 10x goal, then you just start, you're in the next quarter. So now it's October. The end of the next quarter is December 31st. So I am so happy and grateful now that you write out your goal, that you've achieved it by or before December 31st in the year. You always want to do the month, the day, and the year. Again, there is no past, there is no future. All there is the present. The universe is eternally grounded in the present. And again, you must speak the language of the universe. It has to be in the present. So always be present, always be aware, always be conscious, always be in this moment. So we want to write out, Mikey, 3 times in the morning right after we wake up. And ideally, Mikey, not just writing this out, writing it is very powerful. Writing is very powerful. There's a lot of empirical research on that, peer-reviewed research. But I don't do this for the scientific stuff. I do it for the universal reasons, what universal intelligence says and why to do it. So we do it 3 times in the morning. Then ideally do it 3 times in the afternoon, and then 3 times right before we go to sleep. So now the 3 times in the afternoon, Mikey, we really want to get a break, because what happens to most of us is, anyone ever asked, Mikey, that do you want to win your day? Do you want to have a great day? Do you want to achieve what I call win your day? And everyone I ever talked to says, yeah, Papi, I want to win my day. And I'll say, well, what's your strategy on it? They don't have a strategy. So when you start being conscious or cognizant about winning your day, most people might aren't even really sort of thinking about till the day's well underway. It's almost like the afternoon, maybe early afternoon. So again, you win your day, you win your morning. You win your day by winning your morning. You win your morning, you win your day. So I want you to come up and Mikey, before you get out of bed with your affirmations, you do your gratitude. You're doing your just verbal affirmations in bed. I'm so happy and grateful now. Today's a magnificent day. You just do some of these affirmations before you even get out of bed. Then you do your gratitude and do your 333 affirmation. You write this out. You've got win, win, win. You got huge wins. You've got positive momentum, a high vibration, high frequency you're sending out. And when we write these out, Mikey, we never want to lose an opportunity to apply as many of our senses as possible. So you can write out your affirmation. I am so happy and grateful now that you write it out by or before the month, the day, the year, and then close your eyes for a second. Just visualize it. Visualize it. And again, I use an example of if it's that you've never owned a new car and you're visualizing you're in that showroom and the salesperson is handing you the keys to the car and you see your new car right behind them. So let's visualize this. Let's sink into that moment. What are the sounds that you hear? Do they have the radio playing in the background? Or is there music in the background? Is there some other talk between salespeople and other individuals looking to purchase a car? What does it smell like? A lot of people like the smell of a new car, so to speak. Mike, so you're thinking, hey, I'm right next to it. I can smell that new car smell. So I'm engaging my sight for visualization. My nose. I'm smelling the aroma, the smells. I hear the noises. What does it feel like to touch? What's my touch? What do I hear? So let's incorporate all of our five senses in addition to this. And again, Mikey, we're right now 3 times we're thinking about it. But if we can hold these thoughts, what the universe says, if you hold this thought, Mikey, for 20 seconds, if you can do this for 20 seconds, I'd say do each of these and hold it for 20 seconds. The message is received by the universe. Then ideally, whenever you have more time, you do it for at least 60 seconds, but at least 20 seconds on these each, you're sending out an A+ message to the universe on what you are what your desire is to manifest, and you can imagine. So also think about it, Mike. We do 333 and do the last one before you go to sleep at night. And also, if we did 3 in the morning, by the time we do our next 3, that's 6. By the time we do our final 3, that's 9. So we're ending up with a 369. That's a very powerful numerical sequence as well. 369. So the 333 is powerful, but cumulative effect is 369. When you add those up, you've accomplished 3. By the time you do the next 3, you're up to 6. You do your final 3, you're up to 9. So 369 over the course of the day. Again, I try to keep it as simple as possible. I'm trying for all of our fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, to get the best cost benefit out of this, something they can incorporate into their day. It does not take that long to manually write out 3 affirmations after you wake up in the morning and incorporate your senses into that if at all possible. And the benefit for this, especially on your manifesting lifestyle, will be immeasurable as you are eliminating these bad habits and incorporating good habits to manifest anything you can imagine.
Fabulous. And, I think you mentioned the 369, and we talked about Nikola Tesla. He also did something like that. So this has been around for a very long time. This is nothing new. And this works, you just have to get into the habit, and it doesn't take any extra time. Like you were saying, it's like you say, do this 20 seconds, 30 seconds, but eventually, it just becomes part of your lifestyle. You just do it just like you would, brushing your teeth. It just is, doesn't take any extra time to do that, to write your affirmations down, to visualize it. And I know that you do, like you just told us that you do an affirmation every day. And your affirmations always start out with, I am so happy and grateful now that. And I know that you like to share them with us. So what is your affirmation for today?
Yeah, Mikey, and as you mentioned, developing a manifesting daily ritual. And yeah, at the end of the day, Mikey, you're probably watching less mindless TV, so to speak. You're just sitting there like mindlessly watching TV, or you're probably having less mindless scrolling through social media. And that's not adding any value. In fact, it's typically a negative, where you're getting negative suggestions that are coming at you. It doesn't take any more time at all, Mikey. It takes 0 additional time out of your daily schedule. You're just incorporating good habits in place of bad habits. I'm going to call Tesla again, Mikey, one of the smartest individuals arguably on planet Earth the last couple hundred years. And I'm just paraphrasing it, Mikey, but he would talk about, one of his famous quotes is along the lines of, if you want to understand the mysteries of the world, the mysteries of the universe, Nikola Tesla, if you want to understand the mysteries of the world and mysteries of the universe, understand energy, understand vibrations, and understand frequencies. He's talking about energy, vibrations, and frequencies, Mikey, the smartest guy on earth, arguably. That's where he said the magic happens, is with energy, vibration, frequency. That's how the universe works. That's that 2+2 I talk about. So the affirmation we're focusing on today out of my book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. Again, the physical book along with the audio version on Audible. The book that we have picked out today. Thank you, Mikey, for picking this one out. Again, we always start with I am. And when I handwrite out I am, Mikey, I, of course, is capital I, am is capital A, capital M. We're always doing this to remind ourselves that you have source energy within you. You have all power and all knowledge of all time in your subconscious mind. You have true creative power that resides within you. Perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, perfect spiritual spark. So every time it's I am, you're reminding yourself of that. So I am so happy, grateful now that as I receive my own, as it comes to me, I am always performing efficient action, and my activity always consists of me more than filling my present space. So the universe says, Michael, let's say you're doing a material amount is correct, so to speak. You're visualizing and doing different things. But to give you an extreme example, let's say as you're doing all this, as far as you go is sitting on your couch, watching TV and eating potato chips all day long. That's just dreaming, Mikey. You're not going to manifest anything you can imagine without action. I have 2 chapters in my book. One is on action. The next one is efficient action. And I asked the universe, how much do you need? And they said, you have to be larger than your present space. You have to be larger than your present place. And how much is it? And basically, Mikey, it comes down to what I call the T-MITs to estimates, 3 most important tasks, the 6 most important tasks. And to me, Mikey, that's very, very elating, fantastic news. I'm full of elation when I understand that, because I can just do 3 tasks, 3 of my most important tasks in a day, and manifest anything I can imagine. So most people aren't performing these 3. So we do our evening review from the day and preview for tomorrow. What are my most important tasks for today? My 3, 4, 5, usually typically maximum 6. Typically it's about 3 or 4, Mikey, as far as the most important tasks. So we perform these efficient tasks, as well as we can, and we don't worry about it. We remove all this worry and doubt and fear and anxiety. If you do all you can do, and it's not about working overtime, it's not about working Saturdays and not about working 60 hours a week, any extra hours in a week. If you just do what you can do and more than fill your present space and perform your action, your efficient action, you can and will manifest anything you can imagine. So that's a very great affirmation. I love sharing that. And it provides a lot of peace of mind that as long as you do what is reasonable for you to do, and you are larger than your present place, that you're moving forward and you're putting that effort for action, efficient action. That's all you need to do to be able to manifest anything you can imagine.
Oh, that's great. And, we talked about Tesla and how he was one of the smartest guys on earth. I just want to share a quote that I found, from one of the greatest athletes, and we're talking about affirmations. And
Beautiful.
this is from Muhammad Ali, actually. And he said, "It is the repetition of affirmations that leads to belief. And once that belief becomes a deep conviction, things begin to happen." So
That's
I
sort
just
of the
thought that
magic.
was just so great to hear that when I was reading some stuff, and I was like, wow, like we have these scientists, we have athletes. This is something everyone can do. And I just thought that was just a great quote to share.
And I appreciate you sharing that, Mikey, because the more of these we see, and that's funny, Mike. I get so many comments from folks, and I got way more than I ever thought I would in the book, because I've got 2 or 3 quotes at the beginning of every chapter, and people are like, "Papi, this is so inspiring. I never knew this." This person, like you said, Mikey, CEOs, entrepreneurs, athletes, scholars, scientists, you name it. They're like, I didn't know these people thought this way. I didn't know that they said this. I didn't know Thomas Edison, all these different things about how they do. So that one you just share right there from Muhammad Ali. I've never heard that one before, but how like aligned is that with everything we're talking about? And when you see this again and again at people that are the most successful what they do, and when we say, Mikey, that Muhammad Ali 10x'd his life, yeah, I mean, he 10x'd it, right? I mean, he might have 10x'd it maybe 100 times, maybe 10 times, maybe 50, but one of the greatest boxers of all time. And I remember enough, not to say I'm showing my age, but I remember watching him from the time before he was even a world champ, heavyweight champ, or anything else. He came from poverty. He came from nothing. I mean, he created himself. he manifested that to get to that level, to get to these high levels that folks are at, Mikey. It's being manifested in one way, shape, or form. We obviously want to manifest through creativity, not through competition. But thank you so much. That's very inspirational, that affirmation. And just listen again what Mikey said. Go back and listen at how specific she was about what he said. Every word from what she quoted Muhammad Ali just rings so absolutely true. That was wonderful. Thanks, Mikey.
Oh, you're welcome. No, and it was so true. And there are no coincidences. There was a reason that quote came to me right in front of my, right where I was reading it, and I was like, oh, I have to share this. But anyway, moving on. We're at the speed manifesting questions now. So if you have a question for Papi, you can submit it by going to the website, papimindsetcoach.com, and clicking on the Ask Papi link at the top. And our question today is, how important is it for me to understand what I want?
Yeah, that's wonderful, Mikey. And I think today I went a little bit long earlier, so I always appreciate your and Suzanne's patience. So thank both of you so much. I don't know what I would do without you two. I'm just going to answer one question today, Mikey, because I went a little bit long earlier. But again, how important is it for me to understand what I want? There's nothing more important. This is like the first switch that flips the lights on in the ballroom or whatever, Mikey. If somebody's having a big event, you're going to get married, you need lights on in that room. You can't do anything until you flip the switch on, and now you can move forward. So when I talk to my fellow brothers and sisters, I'll talk with them, Mikey, and I'll ask them, maybe they've studied some, they've got some questions, they think they're ready to launch, whatever it is. And I'll ask my fellow brothers and sisters, I'll say, what is it that you want? And surprisingly, Mikey, the majority of times when I ask my fellow brothers and sisters what they want to start on their manifesting journey, building their manifesting lifestyle, say, Papi, I don't know what I want. And my answer is, if you don't know what you want, then how are you going to know what to ask the universe for? You can't even get to home plate to even have a chance of getting a hit. So knowing what you want is mission critical, because identifying what you want turns into what your goal is. So we think about this, Mikey, and it's imagination, imagination, imagination. Albert Einstein said, pay keen attention to your imagination, because it's the coming attractions. It's a preview of the coming attractions in your life. There's nothing more important than imagination. This is where everything starts at the highest point, using our imagination. Then we have our thoughts, Mikey, that are contained within our imagination. And we're thinking about what's most important to me. And I tell anyone, when you mark down at HWH, what is most important to you regarding health? What's the most important to you regarding wealth? What's the most important to you regarding happiness? Happiness can be love, partner, relationships, career, whatever it is. There's a lot of things go into what individuals find happiness from. It can be things they like to do, like dance, painting, going out and camping outside, going for walks in the woods, in the forest. I mean, different things that make our fellow brothers and sisters extremely happy. So when we condense this and we say, Mikey, what is it that I want? So the top half of that circle I talked about earlier with the C, the conscious mind, that's where we identify our want consciously. So we're using our imagination, we're using our thoughts, and we're thinking all these different things, health, wealth, happiness, like what is it that I want? So we seize on what we think is our largest want. Then if it's a true want and we want it bad enough, Mikey, if we want it bad enough, and I say my wants, when I identify them, I want them so bad that I can taste them. That's how intense you want to get. You identify your want as bad as you can taste it. When you identify that want at that degree of emotion, Mikey, it goes from the top half of that circle where your conscious mind's at. It now gets pushed down into the bottom half of the circle, into the bowl of your subconscious mind, your paradigm of your program that you operate off of, into your subconscious mind. And when you have that much emotion, it goes in there, Mikey, it now gets converted to a desire. So your want is the first domino that knocks everything over, that creates your desire. And your desire, Mikey, this is all like the genesis of your goal. And this is your 10x goal. So your want, when you identify that, that's the seed, the genesis of your 10x goal. That is your number one goal that you're thinking about and working on all day long. That's that 333 affirmation we talked about earlier, Mikey. This is where it comes from. This is where it's generated from understanding what your want is. So your want is extraordinarily important. And Mikey, I can just emphasize one last thing with our fellow brothers and sisters. This is your want. When I talk to my fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, and I'll get into it and they'll be working this for a while and say, Pappy, nothing's happened. Just doesn't sort of feel right. And I'll go back and I'll peel the layers off, like sort of peeling layers off of an onion, Mikey. I get back to it. And then when I start talking about their want, a lot of times, Mikey, what I find out is it's not flowing through to his desire strong enough. Thus, the emotions are not that much embedded into the rich treasure, rather, their subconscious mind. And really, the proper vibration and frequencies aren't coming out. And why is that, Mikey? When I ask them, it's not their want at the end of the day. It's what their mom wants them to do, or what their dad wants them to do, or what they think because of society they should be doing. I can't overemphasize this enough, Mikey. This is your want. You are the ruler. You're the king. You're the queen. However you want to phrase of your subconscious mind, this is your want, which turns into a desire, which is going to be your 10x goal that you're going to manifest. But I can't overemphasize enough, Mikey, that if it's not your true want, you'll never manifest it, because your vibration frequencies will never get to the level, because you're sort of lying to yourself, so to speak. It's not true what you want. It's what you think someone else wants. That is not anywhere near the proper high vibration frequency. So you've got to get in contact with your heart of hearts, and you take your time and you identify. And a lot of times, Mike, our fellow brothers and sisters are a little bit self-conscious about this. Like, man, I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy. I think, no, you live in a universe of abundance, not scarcity. The universe, if we don't talk about dollars, Mikey, the universe creates $1 million like it creates a blade of grass. Look out your window, look at a blade of grass, like a single leaf on a tree. A lot of us like spending time at the ocean, Mikey. A single grain of sand. The universe creates $1 million like it creates a single grain of sand. This isn't a big deal. It's a big deal to us in our 3D human mind, but it's not a big deal. So whatever your want is, health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, partnerships, career, whatever it is, identify this and identify it in your heart of hearts, what you truly want, and your want will turn into a desire, and you apply emotion to make it a red hot or white hot desire. And those vibrations and frequencies will flow out of you at a very, very high level. And you will attract something at a very, very high level that is going to come in with you, and you're going to co-create with the universe to manifest anything you can imagine. And to bring that, again, everything is created twice. First in your or my mind, or one of our fellow brothers and sisters' mind. First in our mind, it's created in our thoughts first. Then after our thoughts, the physical object back of it is created. So this is the process, but it all starts with the want. And again, make sure it's your want. You're the ruler. You're the boss. You're the king. You're the queen. This is what you want in your heart of hearts, what's most important to you. And you can and will manifest it. You can and will manifest anything you can imagine.
So, I mean, how important it is to be open to listen to the universe and listen to yourself, and to get out of that not enoughness mindset, because you are enough, and you are deserving to manifest anything.
You are worthy. You are worthy. You are more than enough. That is correct, Mikey.
Yes.
Yes. I love that phrase you've been using today, the not enoughness that people get caught up in. I'm not enough. That is, we want to completely eradicate that. You and I are here to completely blow that out of the water. You live in a universe of abundance, and this abundance is all at your immediate. It's right as if you're reaching for something on a shelf, and it's easily within your grasp,
Absolutely. And Papi's book is on Audible, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. But he also has the physical copy of his book. And we talked a lot about quotes today. And even though he recommends reading a page a day, sometimes it's good just to go through the book and pick out a quote just to reset your mindset. And what quote are we looking at today, Papi?
Yes, Mike, you queued me up here. This one's from chapter 13, page 79. The quote for today that we'll be wrapping up the show with, coming around the bend. Never forget, your spiritual spark is perfect. Your spiritual DNA is perfect. Your spirit is perfect. And you are a magnet. That should excite everyone listening to the show right now. You are a magnet. You're a magnet. And you attract toward you the exact type of energy that you put out into the universe. Therefore, I am. So thank you so much, Mikey. That's a very powerful quote. And I'd suggest our fellow brothers and sisters read that over and over again. You are a magnet. If it's a financial, you're a magnet for money. If it's a partner, if you're looking for a partner, you're a magnet for love and respect. And you start off, Mikey, if you're looking for a partner, if that's what you're looking in your affirmation is to find the love of your life or a partner, you have to remember what you put out is what you're going to get coming back to you. Okay. The law of attraction, like attracts like. You want to love yourself and respect yourself. And once you love yourself and respect yourself, you will attract a partner who loves and respects you. But you need to start internally first, love and respect yourself. Once you love and respect yourself, then you can attract that into your life. So therefore, I am. This power lies within every one of our listeners today. So I want to thank everyone so much for tuning in. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Suzanne, for such a great show.
What a great quote to end the show with. Thank you so much. And if you're new to Papi Mindset Coach, be sure you're signed up on papimindsetcoach.com to receive Papi's free educational emails and get access to upcoming live events conducted by Papi to help you manifest the health, wealth, and happiness of your dreams. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste.